What's going on, everybody? It is Joe. Welcome to the channel. I have been in the crypto market for over 10 years now. I have been through bull markets, I have been through bear markets, and I have seen the highs and the lows, and am here today to go over a roadmap with you on how to make $1 million and how it might be easier than you think. I think it's the average person today can become a millionaire through crypto, and in a shorter amount of time than what you might think, with a smaller investment than what you might think. So let's kind of dive right into that and go over that and the roadmap. So looking at this, how to prepare to become a Bitcoin millionaire. First and foremost, educate yourself on Bitcoin and the market cycles. Understand the fundamentals of Bitcoin, its technology, and how market cycles work. I think that is a key starting point when understanding Bitcoin, when getting into crypto, is to understand how those cycles work. Because, like I mentioned earlier, there are bull markets, there are bear markets, and being able to know and understand that bear markets are going to come is important when getting into this industry, because a lot of people aren't used to seeing their investments drop 30 to 40% and knowing what to do. So that's why I think it's important to do a little research, find out what it means to invest into crypto, find out the history of crypto, and kind of knowing what those bear markets might seem. So when they do happen, you are prepared. You can buy through those bear markets and accumulate more when the prices drop. So instead of getting scared, you start accumulating more, and knowing what to do, I think, is an important part in investing into crypto. So just knowing that, knowing the 4-year cycles, knowing what happens and why, is very important when starting off. Also, coming up with a clear investment strategy, defining your investment goals, risk tolerances, and the amount you are willing to invest is also very important, you guys. Diversifying your portfolio, risk tolerance, and your objectives when getting into the market. Knowing, like, if you invest, if you're wanting to just double your money and get out, if you're wanting to get to a certain goal so you can fund a certain project that you have in mind, if you're just looking to invest long term and just leave it and kind of let it sit, if you're looking to invest and then dollar cost average. But identifying those objectives when you're starting off, super important. And then risk tolerance, figuring out how risky you want to get. Do you want to invest in mainly Bitcoin? Do you want to invest in some of the other altcoins? Do you want to invest in meme coins? There can be some massive returns in meme coins, but it's also quite risky. So just identifying your risk tolerance when you're building your portfolio is also important. And then securing your investments. On the roadmap to become a millionaire, it is important to secure your investments. You're going to start seeing some higher numbers if things go according to plan. So knowing if you want to use a secure wallet and follow those practices to protect your assets from theft and loss, doing your research and knowing if you want to use a Trezor, if you want to use a Ledger, if you want to use a different secured wallet in order to move your money once that balance starts building. It's important to do your research and have a plan with that. Knowing what number you want to hit before you buy that secured wallet and transfer money there is also important. So just another food for thought. And then finally, engaging with the community. Join forums, social media groups, or local meetups to connect with other investors and stay informed. I actually met Sam over with my financial friend at a local meetup. I knew him before, but I didn't know he was in crypto, so we had a local meetup. I met him over lunch, and then we kind of formed this Patreon together, which kind of goes into engaging with the community, join forums. I do encourage you guys to join a forum, to join whether it's a social media group, following people on social media, but being informed, being able to ask questions, being able to be aware of the news of the day or news of the week so you can make educated decisions is very important. And I also think it can just simply be a lot of fun. Being able to experience those highs and lows with other people in the industry is very exciting. Speaking of that Patreon and Sam, we started a Patreon, My Financial Friend, with Sam, where people can ask questions in the Discord, but here on the Patreon, we do release exclusive videos. This one, for example, Sam just released, and that's a Q&A plus a live trade where he just went over a bunch of different questions in depth that people had for him and for us. So he was able to answer those in a live video, which people really liked. because, yeah, in the Discord we'll answer questions, simpler questions daily. But here in the video, he was able to provide a personal touch, be able to answer that live for them. So that was exciting. So here in the Patreon that we started, you're able to do that. And whether it's our Patreon or someone else's, having a community of people together to just talk crypto, be able to talk about those highs and lows. So like if you do experience a bear market, being able to go through that with them is something that helps quite a bit, I have found. And for those of you who don't know who Sam is, I'm sure many of you do if you're on my channel, but he has his own channel, My Financial Friend, and he has over 335,000 subscribers. He's been talking crypto for 4 to 5 years now, really educating people on the daily news, what to expect, what they can look forward to, why news is happening, why markets are shifting, and I highly encourage you check out his channel. Sam is awesome. He's built up quite the following, so it's really cool to see. And then, yeah, partnering with him on this. So if you guys want to check that out, let me know. Would love to have you and talk crypto with you. But going off of that, now we get into the market cycles and educating yourself a little bit on that. So I'm going to touch on that a little bit and the history of Bitcoin bull runs and crypto market cycles. So a Bitcoin bull run is a period of sustained rapid price growth, often driven by key events like halving cycles, increased adoption, or regulatory shifts. The earliest bull runs, such as in 2013, saw Bitcoin rise from around $145 to $1,200. So what we have seen with these bull runs, you guys, is they often correlate with the Bitcoin halving. So we had the first one in 2013, we had one in 2017, 2020 to 2021, and now in 2024, 2025, we are experiencing another bull run. So every 4 years, we are seeing the price of Bitcoin shoot up massive amounts, and that often correlates with that Bitcoin halving. And when that Bitcoin halving takes place, it just creates a supply shock. It creates the supply shock, which increases demand, which increases the price, and it increases the talk about Bitcoin. So when that happens, we often see the beginning of these bull cycles, and that happens every 4 years, which is kind of what I'm going to get into when going over how to become a millionaire and what that will look like. But yeah, every 4 years, key indicators include surging trading volume, social media buzz, and a spike in wallet activity. Bitcoin halving events, which cut mining rewards approximately every 4 years, have historically triggered these bullish cycles by reducing supply. So we're going to talk about that a little bit here in the next page, but doing your research and understanding that. So when you do see some of those prices, they'll go up, and then in like a year or two, you're going to see them come back down. But knowing like, okay, I can expect the price to come down, but I'm still going to dollar cost average, or I'm just going to leave it there and not panic because I know it's going to rebound soon. And just trusting the process, trusting the track record of Bitcoin and those historical trends is very important. And when you're just getting into crypto, so you don't get scared, so you don't sell at the wrong time. So just doing that research ahead of time so you are prepared is something I highly, highly recommend. Now, looking into how to become the Bitcoin millionaire and the roadmap. Initial investment of $10,000, weekly investment of $100. Bitcoin's at around $100 or $100,000 now, and we're going to say the Bitcoin ending price is 13 million. Why 13 million, you ask? Well, Michael Saylor, who's pretty famous in the Bitcoin community for how much Bitcoin him and his company MicroStrategy owns, he's famous for saying Bitcoin's going to get to $13 million. Whether I think it's going to this bull cycle, I'm not really thinking that's going to be the case, but I do think within this time frame that I'm going to go over here shortly, $13 million is possible, because thinking back on it, how many people know about Bitcoin right now? Like, it's still very, very few people, all things considered. Well, people know about it, but how many people are actually invested? Not as many as you would think. If you go somewhere and you bring up Bitcoin and you ask them how much Bitcoin they have, odds are that person's not going to have much Bitcoin or any Bitcoin for that matter. So I think as we're getting into this bull run cycle, I think we're going to start to see more adoption. I think with this president in this new administration, we're going to start to see corporations, companies, countries start to adopt Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And with that, we're going to start to see a major price surge. But how many people are even going to get into crypto? I think it's going to be slowly like people are still going to be hesitant to get into something with how volatile the market is. I think the next bull run cycle and the next one after that, we can start to see even more and more people getting in, which is why I'm going to shoot for 12 years to become a millionaire with this strategy. I think it could be a slow process, but by getting to that 13 million mark, we're going to see some rapid growth during this bull cycle. We're going to see some rapid growth in 4 years from now, and then 4 years from there, we're going to just see it continuing to climb. So what's that look like? If you invested $10,000 today, if you invested $100 a week, and if Bitcoin got to $13 million in 12 years, that would give a future value of $1,423,000. Now you might be thinking, Joe, if I just invested $10,000 and Bitcoin got to 13 million, I'd make 1.3 million. Why do I need to invest $100 a week? Why can't I just set the 10,000 in there and let it go? Yeah, great. You're more than welcome to do that. That would still be an amazing accomplishment to get over that $1 million mark. But as we know, $1 million today is not going to be worth the same in 12 years. And with that in mind, I calculated a 3% inflation for 12 years. What that would look like, I know 3% is kind of low. I think that might be the average, and I just threw that number in there. But with the 3-point inflation a year for 12 years, $1 million today is going to be worth about 1.4 million in 12 years. So I was like, okay, how do we get from 1.3 million to 1.4 million? And that's where the $100 a week comes in. By investing that $100 a week, we're able to increase that from 13 million to or from the 14 or 1.3 million to the 1.4 million to cover that rise in inflation. So that's where that comes in. And then that ends up being, okay, you're investing $5,200 a year for 12 years, roughly $60,000, and you're increasing your profits by $120,000. So you end up doubling your money over the course of that 12 years as well to cover the price of inflation, which is a win-win. That being said, it's basic. Think of it this way. If you invest $10,000 today and you invest $5,200 per year, which is the $100 a week, $10,000 today with $5,200 a year gives you a return of an average return of $118,000 a year. So you're making over $100,000 a year with this strategy on that roadmap to become a millionaire, which is pretty freaking awesome if you ask me. So give me your thoughts below. Do you think 13 million is possible? Do you want to become a millionaire? Do you want to just make it to $1 million, or do you want to make it to $1 million and cover inflation? Those are things to consider. As always, with this investing, I do highly encourage you to educate yourself on Bitcoin and the market cycles. Do your research. Know what bear markets are. Know what bull markets are. Come up with a clear investment strategy. Know your risk tolerance. Know whether you want a dollar cost average, whether you want a lump sum, and define those goals that you have. If you're going to pull money out along the way, if you're just going to leave it in there and let it grow, secure your investments, do your research on secured wallets, and engage with the community, whether it is our Patreon or a different one or a Discord channel. Feel free to join a channel, ask questions, get to know other people in the community, go through the highs with them, go through the lows with them, and it's just going to make it a lot more fun. So comment below, please like the video, please subscribe. Your support means the world as I'm growing my channel. Hopefully you enjoyed the content today, and I'm looking forward to becoming a millionaire with all of you.